Hi viewers, welcome to my class on radiation heat transfer. In the previous classes we have learned some basic theory. Now it is time to apply your theoretical knowledge to certain practical situations. So in today's class we will work out some numerical examples. Before going to numerical example, let me recall your understanding on an enclosure. An enclosure is a closed space wherein heat exchange takes place only between bodies within that space. So enclosure is a closed space like this. Now as an example for a two-surface enclosure, let us consider a room with an object inside. Now the object surface and the room interior surface, that is floor, roof, side walls. If you take that floor, roof, side walls as a single area and object surface another area, we have two surface enclosure. You may treat floor separately and roof separately and side wall separately. In that case, floor will form one area, roof will form another area, side walls another area, and object surface another area. Then you will have four surface enclosure. So you can treat differently. But if you treat entire interior surface of the room, including floor and roof, as a single surface and object surface is another area, you will have a two surface enclosure. Now for a two surface enclosure, we know that summation rule, F11 plus F12 is equal to 1, F21 plus F22 is equal to 1, and reciprocity relation, A1 F12 is equal to A2 F21. These are the theoretical aspects you have studied already, and these things you can apply for enclosure. Let us consider first a two surface enclosure where the heat exchange takes place between these two surfaces within a closed space. Let us work out a numerical example to find out the shape factor. A bulb is hanging at the center of a room 6 meter by 5 meter by 4 meter high. Assuming this bulb to be spherical in shape with 60 mm diameter, find the fraction of energy leaving the room and reaching the bulb. So its room size is given 6 meter, that is length of the room, and 5 meter width and 4 meter is a height, and bulb is hanging in the center of the room, and the bulb diameter is also given 60 mm. Now assuming that room is empty, there is no other objects inside the room, no table, furniture, anything like that, human beings also, we can take it as a two surface enclosure. That is, bulb as a single surface, it is also considered as a spherical in shape, and room, that is all side walls and roof and floor taking as another surface. Now if you consider that the interior surface of the room as A1 and bulb surface as A2, we can calculate the area of the interior surface. What is the area of the interior floor? If you calculate 6 meter by 5 meter, that is, area will be 6 into 5, 6 into 5 or 5 into 6, that is the area of the floor. The same size is there for roof. So roof area is again 5 into 6. Okay, so 5 into 6 into 2 area, total area of floor and roof. Similarly, 6 into 4, that will give the area of this side wall, and similar area is there on the opposite side, again 6 into 4. So 6 into 4 into 2. Now if you take the other side wall, 5 into 4 is area, and you have similar area opposite side, 5 into 4. So 5 into 4 into 2. So total interior area is 148 meter square. Now A2, bulb surface area is, if you consider it as a spherical in shape, it is 4 pi r square, 4 pi into 0.03 square. So you will get 0.01131 meter square. So this is area of the surface of the bulb. So we have got the interior surface area A1 and bulb surface area A2. Now heat exchange is taking place only between these two. So we need to find out the fraction of energy leaving interior surface of the room and reaching the bulb. If you consider the fraction of energy leaving the bulb and reaching the room, it is going to be 100%, or shape factor F21 is going to be 1. Now only F12 we have to calculate. F12 means it will be a fraction of energy, very small part of the energy will be striking on surface A2, because most of the radiation leaving A1 will strike on that itself. Suppose some radiation leaving the floor, it can strike the roof, it can strike on these side walls, it can strike on the opposite wall. So major part of the energy leaving surface A1 will be striking on itself. Only minute portion of the energy leaving A1 will be striking on A2. So we need to calculate that F12, that is fraction of energy leaving surface 1, that is in room surface and falling on that bulb. So we have that reciprocity relation, A1 F12 is equal to A2 F21. Now F12, we need to calculate F12. So F12 is A2 by A1. So rearranging this, you get A2 by A1, F21. So A2 we have calculated and A1 also we have calculated. So substituting, you will get the shape factor as 7.642 into 10 raised to minus 5. So this is very small fraction. You will see it is 10 raised to minus 5. So how much is the fraction of energy leaving? So whatever it's leaving from the interior room surface, only minute portion will be striking on the bulb. Whereas from the bulb, the entire energy will be striking on the room surface. Suppose bulb is 60 watts. All the 60 watts will be striking on the room surface, provided there is no other furniture inside or no one is inside the room. So all the energy will be striking on the walls and floors or roof of the room. Now if you take this as an example, if surface of the room is radiating 10 raised to 5 watts, 10 raised to 5 watts means 100 kilowatt. So interior surface is radiating 10 raised to 5 watts. To find out the energy reaching bulb, you need to multiply with this fraction. So 10 raised to 5 into 7.642 into 10 raised to minus 5, you will get 7.642 watts. So if a 10 raised to 5 watts is leaving the room, only 7.642 watts will reach the bulb. So that means 100 kilowatt is radiating by the room surface, room interior surface. Only 7.642 watts will reach the bulb. So this will give an idea of the amount of radiation that received by the bulb. So only a small fraction is reaching the bulb. So that is the shape factor F12, that is a fraction of energy leaving interior surface of the room and falling on the bulb. Now radiation heat exchange between two black bodies. So as a first case, we will consider infinite parallel black plates. So infinite means very long plates. They are parallel plates and they are black. So let us consider two parallel very long plates and they are perfectly black. So you can apply the Stephen-Boltzmann law. So emissivity and absorptivity is equal to 1. So you have, because it's a parallel plates, infinite in size, you can take F12 is equal to F21 is equal to 1, because it's very long. Most of the radiation leaving the surface 1 will be striking on 2 itself. So it will be striking like this, and since it is very long. So all the radiation leaving, almost all the radiation leaving 1 will be striking on 2. Similarly, all the radiation leaving 2 will be striking on 1. So F12 is equal to F21 is equal to 1. This is applicable for a very long plates, very large plates, or infinite plates. Theoretically speaking, infinite plates, you can say F12 is equal to F21 is equal to 1. So you can also apply very long plates with a narrow gap between that. You can take F12 is equal to F21 is equal to 1. I am taking the area of the plates as A1 is equal to A2 is equal to A, and replacing this, so you get the radiation heat exchange as Q is equal to sigma A into T1 to the power of 4 minus T2 to the power of 4. That is the radiation heat exchange, because F12 is 1. So we have already learned that radiation heat exchange between two black surfaces as F12 sigma A1 into T1 to the power of 4 minus T2 to the power of 4. Substituting area as A and configuration factor as 1, you will get the radiation heat exchange between these plates as Q is equal to sigma A into T1 to the power of 4 minus T2 to the power of 4. Now if you take area, most of the cases we will calculate per unit area, because area will not be known, very large plates, it's infinite plates. So Q by A, if you take the area left hand side, you get heat flux. So that is a radiation heat exchange between these two bodies per unit area, or radiation heat flux. Now when they are finite in size and the plates are finite in size, you can assume that F12 is equal to F21 and it's less than 1, because size are same, but they are finite, they are not infinite. So F12 is not equal to 1, it is less than 1. Some chances are there the radiation escaping this without falling on the another surface. So F12 is equal to F21 also, because plates are of same size. F12 is equal to F21, but it is less than 1. Now applying in the formula which you already derived, so we already have the formula for radiation heat exchange, Q as F12 sigma A1 into T1 to the power of 4 minus T2 to the power of 4. So this we have already derived in the previous class. So we can directly apply. Only thing is that you need to find out the fraction of energy leaving 1 and striking 2, or F21. It's also equal to F21. Since A1 F12 is equal to A2 F21, so you can apply this. Now let us work out an example problem. Two infinite parallel black plates are maintained at 860 degrees centigrade and 120 degrees centigrade. Find the radiation heat exchange between them per unit area. Find the radiation heat exchange between them per unit area. So the temperature of the plates are given. They are infinite parallel black plates. So they are very long in size and they are parallel black plates. And one of them is at 860 degrees centigrade, another one at 120 degrees centigrade. So T1 is 860 degrees centigrade. So you need to convert before applying this Stephen-Boltzmann law. The Stephen-Boltzmann law is stated for absolute temperature. So T1 is equal to 860 degrees centigrade. So you need to convert into Kelvin. So you have to add 273 to that. You will get 1133 Kelvin. Similarly, the other surface is at 120 degrees centigrade. If you add 273 to that, you get 393 Kelvin. So you have converted the temperature of both the plates into Kelvin. Now radiation heat transfer you can calculate as sigma A1, because configuration factor is 1 and they are also black plates. You can apply this formula sigma A1 into T1 to the power of 4 minus T2 to the power of 4. So the equation is Q is equal to F12 sigma A1 into T1 to the power of 4 minus T2 to the power of 4. Since configuration factor is 1, you can apply sigma A1 into T1 to the power of 4 minus T2 to the power of 4. Now A1 you can substitute as 1, because area it's a very long plate or infinite plate. So you can substitute A1 as 1. So you are finding out per unit area, or you are finding out the heat flux, or you are finding out Q by A. So we know that Stephen-Boltzmann constant is 5.67 into 10 raised to minus 8, and T1 is substituted, T2 is substituted. You get 92,080.97 watts per meter square, or 92.08 kilowatts per meter square. So this is a radiation heat exchange between the two infinite parallel plates per meter square area. Now let us work out another example. Two black rectangular plates 0.6 meter by 0.4 meter are separated by a distance 0.4 meter and are maintained at 1000 Kelvin and 200 Kelvin. Find the heat transfer. So two parallel plates, they are finite in size. Size are given 0.6 meter by 0.4 meter. They are separated by a distance 0.4 meter. So this distance is given 0.4 meter. 0.4 meter. Okay. So the gap between the plates is 0.4 meter. So temperatures are given. Any one of the temperature you can take it as T1, 1000 Kelvin, T2, 200 Kelvin. And A, this distance we can take it as A, the size of the plate, A and B, because you can theoretically work out the configuration factor from 1 to 2 or 2 to 1, considering this as 1 and this as 2, 1 to 2. We can calculate the configuration factor. If you attach side walls to this, it will form like a room, and applying the shape factor algebra, you can calculate the shape factor from 1 to 2. So if you take it as a closed space, attaching the side walls, considering it as a room, this will become floor and this roof, and other enclosed walls as side walls. So you will have three spaces, three surfaces, floor, roof and side walls. So it will form a three surface enclosure, and you can form the shape factor algebra equations and you can solve for configuration factor. But that is not required. Already shape factors are available for parallel plates in the form of chart and tables. So you can, knowing the dimensions and distance between the plates, you can directly take the shape factors from the tables or charts. So for that we need this A. A is that is a width of the plate and B is a length of the plate. So A is width of the plate, B is the length of the plate. So we know that is 0.4 meter and 0.6 meter, and the distance between the plate is C, 0.4 meter. So we need to calculate two parameters. One is B by C, that is length of the plate divided by gap between the plates. So that will give 1.5. And another one is width of the plate divided by gap between the plate, that is Y. So 0.4 by 0.4, width is 0.4, the gap between the plate is also 0.4, and that's Y you will get as 1. So before going to the chart, you calculate X and Y. You can interchange width and breadth, so it's no issue. So X, if you take it as 1 and Y as 1.5, it's also, you get the same value. So this is 1, bottom surface is 1, this is J is 2. So I and J here, it's written here, it's 1 and 2. That is, you can denote by any number. So it's 1 and 2. I'll take this as 1 and this as 2. So you are getting F12 here. You are on the x-axis, you have X, and that is B by C ratio. We got 1.5. And here constant Y values, it's plotted. The curve is plotted for constant Y values. Now X we have calculated as 1.5. So this is 1 and it is 2. 1.5. Okay. And Y value we have 1. So 1 is here. So this 1.5 to meet 1. So this is the point. From here you can draw a horizontal which gives the value of this 0.25. 0.25. So you are getting 0.25. Approximately you can read 0.25. So we'll get the F12 as 0.25. You can also get the same value from the tables also. So data handbook will give the chart and table. Find out the tables and chart for the finite rectangular parallel plates. Radiation shape factor for rectangular parallel plates. You find out the shape factor. You can interchange this. Y as 1.5, X as 1. So X if you take as 1, 1.5, 1.5 between this. So 1 and 1.5. So this between 1 and 2, 1.5. From there also you get the same value 0.25. So between these two curves, so 1 and corresponding 1.5. So from there you will get 0.25. So you can interchange X and Y, is no issue. You will get the same reading from the chart or table. So whichever is convenient, you can take it. Now after getting that X and Y value from the data handbook, you can read F12 as 0.25. Now you can apply the heat transfer equation, heat exchange between the two bodies. Q is equal to F12 sigma A1 into T1 to the power of 4 minus T2 to the power of 4. So F12 you got 0.25. Sigma we know 5.67 into 10 raised to minus 8, and A1 is the area of the plate. In this case it's finite in size, so area is 0.6 into 0.4. T1 is 1000 Kelvin and T2 is 200 Kelvin. Substituting that, you will get Q as 3396.56 watts. So this is a radiation heat exchange between the two finite parallel plates. Thank you for watching.